open your heart. Just like be yourself. Just be yourself. What does that even mean? Be yourself is often just a euphemism for don't grow. 100 years ago, a woman would walk past a guy, drop her handkerchief and keep walking. The guy would see it, he'd say, you know, when someone comes up to me at the end of a seminar and says, you know, I love your stuff, you know, it's you know, I'm a big law of attraction fan. I know immediately we have nothing in common. I don't even know how you like my stuff. I can't stand these concepts and this pseudoscience that is often put out there. For me, I'm all about the logical, I'm all about the practical, and I like things that can be tested. I hear people in their, you know, say to women in their love lives, just open your heart. And you think, what do you mean by that? Like, what does she do today that's different based on that piece of advice? Just like be yourself. You know, be yourself is extraordinarily lazy advice.
Right.
It's the advice people give when they don't know an actual solution. Because what do you just be yourself? What does that even mean? You know, and by the way, be yourself is often just a euphemism for don't grow. How many people are the same person today they were 5 years ago? No one. Yeah. And who's going to be the same today, tomorrow as they are today? People change and they evolve. So be yourself is a very strange and lazy piece of advice to give someone, but that's what we get all the time. I always cringe when a journalist says to me, well, this is so great because you're a guy, so you can give them insight into guys. I think, what a stupid argument that is. It's like saying you're a woman, so you know all women. Well, how many women are exactly the same? You know, how many women do you get in a room and they agree on everything? The same is true of men. I'm not here to speak on behalf of all men.
Sure.
I might be here to relay a message that I constantly get from men, or something that I observe with an enormous number of men. I mean, I say to women, I only started working with women, because they asked me to. I didn't, when I was coaching guys, I coached nearly 10,000 guys, and women were saying, when are you going to do the same thing for us? And I said, I don't know, because I don't really know you. I know men. Because not because I'm a guy, but because I've just coached 10,000 of them over the last 3 years. I said, so I have something to say about men. I said, but I don't know you. You know, a very simple thing would be that there were so many women out there that were saying, well, I want a guy who has the balls to make a move on me. Right, and if he's interested, he's already coming over to me. And there were massive dating books out there for women that would say this, like, if he's not coming over to you, don't bother going up to him, because if he wanted to be there, he would be. Defied everything that I'd ever seen, not just from every man I'd ever coached, but from growing up around men, and even for myself, this is an area where my personal experience does relate to that lesson. Terrified. The idea of walking up to a woman and saying I like you or I think you're cute. I got brought up by my mum to be a gentleman, right? I was brought up to, you know, buy flowers, buy the meal, don't ever let her pay, don't ever let her carry her bag, open her door. So at school, as a teenager, I got mauled by women for being that way. You know, I got walked all over. They liked me. They thought I was a nice guy, but I was the one holding their bag while they got with that guy. Right. So it didn't translate, and I knew as a guy, as a teenager, something wasn't clicking. And something about what I'd been taught about attraction by my mum, who taught me to treat every woman like a princess, something about that advice wasn't translating and wasn't working. Now, when I started hearing from these books written for women, if he likes you, he's already talking to you. I looked at that and I thought, God, you know what? I'm not a loser. I'm not someone who's got everything going wrong in their life and is like, you know, oh, that's why he hasn't got the confidence. No, I was like a guy who had some great things going for him, and yet still I would look over there and go, no way. Yeah, I'm not doing
scary,
anything.
Man.
Terrifying. So you know, I started to say to women, listen, firstly, guys, even the guys you want are nervous about coming over to you. So you might have to do a little more to make this a possibility. And women will say, well, no, that's not true, Matt, because, you know, there are these guys who always hit on me when I go out. Yeah, but it's the same 5% every time, right? There's 5 to 10% of guys who will hit on everybody who walks in the room. There's a percentage of those who are like players who are good at it, who know how to do it.
Just spit the game.
Actually, most guys aren't in that mode. Most guys aren't good at doing that, and actually don't wish to do that because they don't want to be sleazy and they don't want to seem like that guy. So I started saying, women, you might have to do a little bit more, and don't assume, because in a seminar, any woman who comes to my seminar will see this. I'll say, put your hand up if at some point or another you've said or thought, well, if he doesn't have the balls to come and approach me, I don't think he's my type of guy anyway. And like 90% of the hands go up. So I say, here's the thing, as a guy, when you live in a city, you probably see 30 women a day that you're attracted to.
Yes.
You can't go up to every one of them, nor would you wish to, nor is it convenient to. And sometimes you just see a woman standing with her friend and you're like, oh, do I really want to go and approach her in front of her friend and have the possibility that she's got a boyfriend and I'm going to have to be horrible. Yeah. So I would say to them, if out of those 30 women that a guy sees in a day, he's going to approach the one that makes it slightly easier for him to approach her than the other 29. Call it dropping the handkerchief. When you know, women who say, I'm old-fashioned, I don't make the first move, I always say, then you're not old-fashioned. Because 100 years ago, a woman would walk past a guy, drop her handkerchief and keep walking. The guy would see it, he'd say, this is an extraordinary opportunity to be a man. He'd pick up the handkerchief, walk it over to her and say, madam, you dropped this. And she'd say, did I? And they'd now have a conversation. Now, he thought it was his idea. He chose him. So I say to women, listen, this isn't about reversing roles here and you suddenly doing the guy's job. It's about you doing what women have always done and dropping the handkerchief. You just need to know how to do it.